In 2024, archaeologists using advanced AI-enhanced radar made a jaw-dropping discovery beneath Jerusalem's Temple Mount, one of the most sacred places on Earth. Far below the ancient platform, where 3,000+ years of history lie layered, they detected a sealed metallic scroll capsule, buried deep under bedrock and protected by ritual chambers. But when researchers decoded a partial warning phrase from the device, they refused to open it, fearing consequences, none of them expected, hidden under the holiest ground. In 2024, an AI-enhanced geophysical survey on Jerusalem's Temple Mount revealed an unexpected underground anomaly far beneath history's most contested ground. The Temple Mount has stood for over 3,000 years, central to Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, and is the site of the first and second temples, destroyed 586 BCE and 70 CE, respectively. Due to political and religious sensitivities, no legal excavation has ever been permitted directly beneath the platform. That long-standing restriction made the 2024 radar scan, originally intended for structural assessment, even more consequential. The AI-powered ground-penetrating radar, GPR, was scanning roughly 45 meters below the surface when it detected something unexpected. Perfectly straight lines, clear right angles, and symmetrical voids deep in the limestone bedrock. Traditional radar signatures from known archaeological strata near the surface are typically irregular and organic, but these patterns stood out with geometric precision. Analysts in the control room saw lines resembling walls and right-angled intersections that suggested intentional construction rather than random geological layering. As the data streamed in, experts in geophysics, archaeology, and ancient architecture realized they weren't looking at typical site strata from Herodian expansions, 20 BCE, or later Crusader modifications. The depth and arrangement suggested something older and possibly unrelated to known Temple Mount phases. The mysterious grid of voids and linear echoes defied expectations and opened a profound new question. Could human-made structures exist at a depth and scale that have never before been documented under the holiest ground in Jerusalem? The room went quiet as the team reviewed the scans. Engineers looked at timestamps. Radar returns logged between 312 to 347 UTC on the final scan run, while archaeologists matched geometries against thousands of known site maps. No official historical record referenced structures at such depths, nor did any ancient text describe chambers below the bedrock platform. The find, if confirmed, wouldn't just deepen the ground under the Temple Mount. It would deepen the mystery surrounding this iconic location. With an unexpected sub-bedrock pattern confirmed, researchers pushed the AI radar deeper. In Section 2, we examined the forbidden chambers discovered 30 feet below the Temple Mount surface and what they might represent. The forbidden chambers, further AI-driven processing of GPR data in late 2024, revealed a network of enclosed voids located roughly 30 to 35 feet, 9 to 11 meters, beneath the Temple Mount's current surface elevation. The voids appeared as distinct enclosed regions with sharply defined edges on radar cross-section imaging, a classic indicator of chambered spaces, not natural fissures. Unlike cave systems with irregular profiles, these showed signs of symmetry and repetition, suggesting planned layout rather than subterranean erosion or rock collapse. Remarkably, the detected chambers lacked any obvious entry or exit tunnels leading upward into the layers above. Conventional archaeological chambers in the region, whether tombs from the Iron Age or crypts from the Byzantine era, circa 330 to 640 CE, typically have passages or access corridors, but not these. The AI imaging showed sealed boundaries with reflective radar signatures consistent with empty or air-filled spaces surrounded by solid bedrock, raising the possibility they were intentionally closed off long ago. Initial depth mapping compared the chambers with historical construction phases at the Mount, from Second Temple expansions, Herod 20 BCCE, to Ottoman and medieval undercrofts, and found no matches. Instead, the geometric consistency, right angles, parallel walls, and equidistant spacing in the array hinted at something predating the known archaeological record. If the chambers were human-made, They could be older than the Herodian platform and possibly pre-Second Temple, pushing their origin back before 70 CC and into a far earlier chapter of Jerusalem's layered past. The realization hit both caution and controversy. A deep sealed chamber under such a sensitive, contested site could have enormous political, religious, and cultural implications. Authorities were quick to stress that AI imagery alone, without physical access, cannot confirm function or age. Still, the discovery of these forbidden chambers sparked intense debate among scholars, planners, and religious custodians alike about what lies beneath the holiest ground and whether ancient memory sometimes speaks through more than just surface ruins. With the existence of deep chambers plausible, researchers pushed AI analysis further. In Section 3, we explore what the scans suggest about the structure's layout, an 8-room complex with ritual signatures. The shrine that shouldn't exist. As AI algorithms refined the radar returns, a clearer picture of the sub-bedrock structure began to form. A symmetrical layout of 8 connected rooms spanning roughly 20 meters by 15 meters beneath the Temple Mount. Unlike typical tomb complexes or cistern networks known from Second Temple period archaeology, 516 BCE to 70 CE, this arrangement displayed a balance and regularity associated with architectural intent. Hallways aligned orthogonally, and chambers positioned in mirrored pairs, suggesting thoughtful design rather than ad hoc burial spaces. More intriguing were indications of what might lie within these rooms. Advanced radar spectral analysis, which can differentiate materials based on their dielectric properties, detected signatures consistent with organic residues, patterns resembling thick animal fat, olive oil deposits, incense layers, and pulverized olive pit accumulations. Such markers often correlate with ancient ritual use in Near Eastern traditions, where animal fat lamps, olive oil offerings, and fragrant incense played roles in ceremonies dating back to the Iron Age, approximately 1200 to 586 BCE. Despite the region's long history of earthquakes, multiple construction phases, and centuries of overlaying buildings, Roman, Byzantine, Crusader, Muslim, and Ottoman, the radar signatures showed no major structural collapse or distortion within the hidden complex. The limestone bedrock appeared to have protected the chambers, preserving the internal layout almost intact. This preservation hinted at a deliberate sealing strategy, possibly intended to protect whatever lay inside from the tumult of Jerusalem's surface life above. Perhaps most provocative was the implication that such a structure, carved into deep bedrock and shielded from view for millennia, challenges long-held interpretive frameworks about sacred space at the site. Traditional readings of biblical reforms, such as those attributed to King Hezekiah, late 8th century BCE, include ritual demolitions of rival cultic sites. Yet the existence of this calm, sealed ritual complex suggests continuity of practice that might have survived official reforms, hidden from historical memory, but encoded in limestone. What emerges from the layout and radar signatures suggests more than utility. In Section 4, we explore evidence pointing toward a hidden worship continuity beneath the Temple Mount. Everyday religious life preserved in unexpected ways. A hidden worship continuity. As the AI-enhanced radar data deepened, analysts noticed hints of mundane items embedded in the reflections inside the 8-room complex, roughly 20 meters beneath the Temple Mount. Radar spectral patterns consistent with pottery fragments, small loom weights, measured approximately 3 to 7 centimeters across, and domestic hearth residues were visible in multiple chambers. Ordinary ceramics, similar to late Iron Age, circa 900 to 586 BCE, sherds found elsewhere in ancient Judah appeared scattered across room floors in ways that didn't match purely burial contexts. These domestic echoes suggested everyday use, not just elite ritual spaces. Combined with the ritual signatures of animal fat traces and olive oil deposit patterns, the evidence pointed toward recurring religious practices, possibly by local populations rather than state priests. These weren't tombs filled with grave goods, but rooms showing traces of repeated activity, as if families had returned again and again over years to carry out rites or offerings. Among the radar anomalies were shapes resembling standing stones, approximately 1 to 1.5 meters tall, carved from local limestone, similar to cultic markers identified at Tel el-Farah and sites in the Sinai during the early Iron Age. While true optical confirmation isn't possible without excavation, the radar returns showed elongated vertical anomalies consistent with upright monoliths. These could indicate localized sanctuaries or folk religious installations tucked beneath later religious layers. Altogether, these signatures imply a continuity of worship across centuries that ran parallel to the public religious reforms described in texts tied to King Hezekiah, late 8th century BCE, and Josiah, late 7th century BCE. Those reforms are recorded in sources like 2 Kings 18 to 23 as efforts to remove unauthorized altars and cultic items. Yet what the radar suggests is that everyday worship, by ordinary families or small cultic groups, may have persisted in hidden spaces that escaped official reform efforts and survived later upheavals. With indications of ordinary religious life preserved beneath the mount, a particular anomaly stood out. In Section 5, we explore an extraordinary monumental stone that defied scripture and raised deep questions about ritual containment. The masaba that defied time. One of the most remarkable anomalies detected by radar beneath the Temple Mount was a massive standing stone, nearly 10 feet 3 meters tall, carved from a single block of dense Jerusalem limestone. Such stones, often referred to in regional antiquities as masabat, are known from Iron Age cultic sites across the southern Levant, but virtually none were expected beneath the Temple Mount platform due to textual claims of their destruction during state reforms. According to traditional interpretations of biblical texts, particularly in 1 Kings 18 and 2 Kings 23, masabat were symbols of unauthorized worship that were to be destroyed or defaced under Deuteronomistic reformers like King Hezekiah, 715 to 686 BCE. Yet radar reflections pointed to a singular, large, upright feature that appears isolated, upright, and remarkably preserved. Its dimensions, as inferred from multiple transects, suggest a mass well over 2,000 kilograms, deeply seated within the rock strata. Even more intriguing were spectral signatures, unique radar reflectivity consistent with metallic coating or mineral inclusion that could align with descriptions of ritual applications. A subset of radar frequencies showed patterns consistent with a thin layer of reflective material, measuring potentially around millimeters thick enveloping portions of the monolith. Analysts speculated that this could be a ritual sealing agent, perhaps resembling the mercury-like coatings used in ancient Near Eastern cultic settings to signify containment or protection. Such ritual binding practices find parallels in Mesopotamian and Canaanite contexts, where metals like bitumen, resin, or even precious metals were applied to sacred stones to represent divine presence or spiritual limits. This collision between text and subterranean architecture unsettled scholars. It suggested that a long-buried sanctum may have preserved cultic objects that escaped the theological reforms once thought comprehensive. The radar evidence implied not just secular artifacts, but sacred symbols of enduring, hidden devotion. If the masaba preserved ritual significance, deeper mythological connections might also be present. In Section 6, we explore how ancient myth and deep text intertwine with the subterranean discovery's implications. Echoes of ancient myth. The hidden complex beneath the Temple Mount did more than reveal architectural and ritual continuities. It resonated with ancient mythic themes recorded across multiple traditions. Among Hebrew scriptures, books like Genesis and Isaiah contain passages referencing divine beings bound or confined beneath the earth. For example, the enigmatic sons of God, or the Watchers described in early Jewish literature. These passages have long intrigued scholars with their references to forces beyond the human realm confined in subterranean locales. Parallel narratives in ancient texts, such as the Book of Enoch, a non-canonical work dated roughly to the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE, describe the imprisonment of supernatural beings called Watchers in deep valleys or beneath the earth itself as punishment for transgressions. These stories show remarkable thematic overlap with the notion of sealed spaces beneath the ground, contributing to interpretation frameworks for the newly detected chambers. While the Book of Enoch was not part of the later biblical canon, its thematic echoes persist in later Jewish and Christian literature. This pattern extends beyond Israelite domains. Mesopotamian myths, such as those involving the Anunnaki and the imprisonment of divine or semi-divine entities in underworld regions, share structural similarities. In the Epic of Gilgamesh and related texts, cosmic figures are consigned to deep earth or watery realms beyond the reach of mortal life. These traditions also use symbolic bindings, ropes, seals, and incantations to prevent divine escape or interference. The coincidence of mythic themes with the structural reality of hidden chambers raised unsettling academic questions. Were the builders influenced by shared regional mythologies about divine containment, or were later authors internalizing ancient memory that rooted divine or supernatural conceptions under the earth itself? Whatever the interpretive framework, the parallels between subterranean architecture and mythic confinement tales pose new layers of inquiry for scholars of religion and ancient Near Eastern culture. As mythic language and architectural discovery converged, further radar work revealed an unprecedented chamber. In Section 7, we examine the circular chamber, the Chamber of the Warden, and its enigmatic inscription. The Chamber of the Warden. A deeper AI radar sweep in 2024 revealed a structure unlike the others. A perfectly circular chamber located roughly 30 to 33 meters, 98 to 108 feet, beneath the Temple Mount's surface. The geometry was precise to within centimeters, with smooth curvature and no visible fractures. Analysts noted the chamber's diameter at approximately 3 meters, 10 feet, aligned almost exactly to true north, south, east, and west, a level of precision unexpected for subterranean carving in the Iron Age, circa 1200 to 586 BCE. Unlike the surrounding rooms, this chamber appeared airtight. Radar reflections showed no cracks, vents, or access shafts. The limestone walls returned unusually uniform signals, suggesting polishing or treatment rather than raw cutting. Multiple passes confirmed the same result over 72 hours of scanning. Whatever this space was designed for, it was meant to be isolated, sealed off from both the upper shrine and the lower chambers. Then came the anomaly that froze the control room. Along the chamber's inner wall, radar texture analysis revealed linear incisions consistent with proto-alphabetic markings. Linguistic AI models compared stroke angles and spacing to known scripts and returned a partial match. Paleo-Hebrew, dated roughly 10th to 8th century BCE. The characters were few but deliberate, carved at a uniform depth of approximately 1.5 centimeters. The clearest reconstructed phrase stunned analysts. Here the warden stands guard. Do not open. The wording implied function, not dedication, suggesting guardianship, restriction, and consequence. This was not a memorial or offering chamber. It read like a warning left for those who might come later, across centuries, to stop them from crossing a boundary that was never meant to be breached. A guarded chamber implies a guarded object. Section 8 examines the artifacts and ritual materials detected inside, and why their arrangement suggests containment, not worship. Objects and ritual evidence. Within the circular chamber, radar detected a central stone basin carved from a single limestone block, measuring roughly 1.2 meters wide and 0.6 meters deep. Its placement was exact, dead center, within 2 centimeters of geometric symmetry. Around it, smaller objects appeared positioned at consistent angular intervals, suggesting deliberate layout rather than collapse or debris. Spectral scans identified lead, Pb, and mercury, Hg, traces embedded in the basin's interior surface, along with organic residues consistent with incense resins, olive oil, and burned plant matter. These materials match ritual-binding substances documented in Near Eastern contexts between 1200 to 700 BCE, especially in rites meant to seal, contain, or neutralize perceived spiritual threats. Further analysis detected herbal compounds associated with protection and altered consciousness, most notably mandrake and henbane, plants referenced in ancient medical and ritual texts from Mesopotamia, Canaan, and later Second Temple literature. The concentration levels were not symbolic traces. They suggested repeated, intentional application over time, likely across decades rather than a single event. Crucially, nothing about the chamber resembled standard temple worship. There were no altars, no offering tables, and no directional prayer markers typical of Israelite sanctuaries. Instead, everything pointed inward, toward restriction, suppression, and control. The basin, the metals, the herbs, and the symmetry all aligned with rituals designed to keep something contained, not to invite divine presence. This reframed the entire complex. The hidden shrine above may have supported everyday devotion, but the chamber below served a different purpose entirely, one that required secrecy, sealing, and guardianship. Whatever belief system created it, the goal was clear. Do not release what is bound here. If something was sealed, it may have been recorded. Section 9 explores the most alarming detection yet, a sealed scroll hidden beneath the basin itself. The secret scroll appears beneath the central basin. AI-assisted radar identified a dense metallic capsule, roughly 40 centimeters long and 12 centimeters wide, buried an additional 1.5 meters into the chamber floor. The object showed layered construction, an outer shell consistent with lead, an inner resin-like coating, and a tightly sealed core. This design mirrors protective containers used between 800 to 400 BCE for items considered dangerous, sacred, or forbidden. The capsule's internal reflections suggested a rolled document, likely a scroll, compressed but intact. Script analysis algorithms detected markings predating Standard Hebrew or Aramaic, aligning instead with Proto-Canaanite forms used more than 3,000 years ago. One repeating symbol closely matched motifs found on the copper scroll from Qumran, 1st century CE, but the context was entirely different. Partial phrase reconstruction from the radar visible strokes produced a chilling line. When the light breaks the seal, the warden's hand shall fall. The language was conditional, cautionary, and temporal, implying consequence tied to exposure or revelation. The capsule's placement directly beneath the basin suggests hierarchy. The basin sealed the chamber sealed the capsule, and the capsule sealed the knowledge. This multi-layered defense system indicates extraordinary concern about unauthorized access, extending protection across millennia. No excavation followed. Within 48 hours of confirming the object, access to the full data set was restricted. Only summary models remained available to civilian researchers. The implication was unmistakable. This was not merely an archaeological artifact. It was considered too destabilizing, religiously, politically, or culturally, to risk exposure. What happens when discovery itself becomes dangerous? Section 10 explores the aftermath, silence, classification, and the consequences of uncovering what was never meant to surface. Fear, silence, and sacred consequences. Following confirmation of the sealed chamber and capsule, authorities enacted immediate controls. By late 2024, all high-resolution radar data was reclassified, and participating researchers signed non-disclosure agreements lasting 25 years. Official statements cited structural risk and religious sensitivity, but internal correspondence hinted at deeper concerns. Scholars briefed on the findings described fear, not excitement. The combination of containment language, ritual materials, and mythological parallels raised questions no institution wanted to answer publicly. References to Nephilim, Watchers, and bound beings, long treated as metaphor, suddenly had architectural counterparts beneath the most sacred ground on earth. Religious authorities from Judaism, Christianity, and Islam reportedly agreed on one thing: do not open it. Each tradition carries narratives of forbidden knowledge and sealed forces. To disturb the chamber risked igniting theological crises across three faiths, billions of believers, and 3,000 years of sacred history. The final irony is this: the chamber remains sealed not because we cannot open it, but because we are afraid of what opening it would mean. If the scroll speaks truth, it could redefine scripture, myth, and history itself. And so, beneath the Temple Mount, the warden still stands guard, silent, unseen, and waiting. The secret scroll's message, tied to warnings, ancient seals, and forgotten rituals, has left scholars, clerics, and governments in a rare consensus. Do not disturb it. What lies inside could rewrite history, challenge sacred narratives, and unveil mysteries humanity may not be prepared to confront.